Welcome to the Explainer. If you're even thinking about selling your home, there's one big question that's probably floating around in your head. How do I get the absolute best price for it? Well, today we're cracking open the playbook that turns that question into an answer. We're going to dive right into the Be Realty Seller's Guide and lay out a proven strategy to get you a top dollar sale. Yeah, this is pretty much the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do I make sure I get the most for my home? But here's the good news. It's not really about secrets or just getting lucky. It's about having a solid method, a proven system. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through right now. Okay, so let's kick things off with a really crucial mindset shift. You're not just selling a house. What you're really doing is unlocking the potential and the value that's already there. The real trick is knowing how to show it off to the world in the best possible light. Right, so this is where you have to change your perspective a little bit. That space that's filled with all of your personal memories, well, it needs to become a desirable product, one that appeals to as many people as possible. I mean, just look at this kitchen. It's not just a room, is it? It's an invitation. It's bright, it's clean, it's modern, and it lets a potential buyer immediately start to picture their own life happening right there. And that whole mindset, it has to be built on a really solid foundation. Before we jump into all the specific tactics, it's so important to understand the core principles that guide every successful sale. This is really the bedrock of the whole strategy. So, think of these as the three pillars holding everything up. First, you've got trustworthiness, knowing your interests are being protected. Second is integrity, which is all about a commitment to being honest and fair. And third, excellence, that drive to get the absolute best result you can. When you have these three things in place, you've really built the foundation for a win. Okay, so now let's get to the real heart of the strategy. Everything we're going to talk about can be boiled down to three simple but incredibly powerful keys. I mean it. If you can master these three things, you are on the fast track to a successful sale. And here they are. Simple, right? Price, preparation, and presentation. I want you to think about these like the three legs of a stool. If even one of them is wobbly or too short, the whole thing just collapses. So let's break down each one and make sure your stool is rock solid. All right, let's start with price. And wow, this chart right here really tells the whole story. Price your home at its fair market value, and you're getting in front of 90% of potential buyers. But just look at that drop-off. Overprice it by just 10%, and suddenly you've lost two-thirds of your audience. Two-thirds! Go 15% over, and you're basically invisible to almost everyone. The big takeaway here is that smart pricing isn't about selling low, it's about creating a flood of interest that actually drives the final price up. So you've priced it right, you've got buyers paying attention. Now what? Well, that brings us to the second key, preparation. This is the part where your home has to live up to the hype and really deliver on the promise of that price tag. This is where the magic of professional home staging really comes into play. And let's be super clear here, this is so much more than just tidying up. It's a true art form. It's about transforming your space into a kind of blank canvas. By taking out personal items and making the layout flow, you're not just showing a house, you're helping buyers connect emotionally and actually see their own future there. But does it actually work? Is it worth it? Well, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. An incredible 85% of staged homes sold for between 6 and 25% more than homes that weren't staged. Just let that sink in for a second. That's a massive return on a pretty small investment. And this is what that looks like in the real world. A perfectly staged room like this one does so much more than just look nice. It actually defines the space, it highlights the home's best features, and it shows off every bit of its potential. It turns a plain room into this compelling vision of what life could be like for the next person who lives there. All right, so your home is priced perfectly, it's prepared to absolutely shine. Now we're on to the third key, presentation. And in our digital world, how you present your home online, it isn't just important, it's pretty much everything. I mean, think about it. Long before a buyer ever steps foot inside your door, they've already walked through your home dozens of times online. That all-important first impression happens on a screen. And that is why professional, high-quality photos aren't a luxury. They are an absolute must. So just how big of a difference are we talking about? Well, listings with professional photos get a whopping 118% more online views. That's more than double the number of people looking at your property, all because of better images. In a market that's crowded, this is how you make your home stand out.
And if you thought that was impressive, just wait. Take a look at the power of video. Listings that actually have a video tour see an absolutely staggering 403% increase in inquiries from serious buyers. Now, that's not a typo. 403%. It is, without a doubt, the most powerful tool in your arsenal to get buyers engaged.
So you've mastered the 3 keys, right? Price, preparation, and presentation. But how do you actually put all that into action? Well, let's walk through this proven 10-step roadmap that will guide you from day 1 all the way to a successful closing. Okay, the first 5 steps are all about having a flawless launch. It all starts with meeting your agent to nail down that perfect price. From there, it's all about that preparation and staging we talked about. Once the home is looking picture perfect, you bring in the pros for photos and video. That amazing content then fuels a big marketing launch. And only when all of that is perfectly in place do you finally open the doors for showing. Now, once the offers start coming in, the second half of the journey begins. You'll work with your agent to go through every offer and negotiate the best possible terms. After that, you've got to navigate the inspections and the appraisals and handle any final repairs that come up. And all of that hard work leads to the final and most exciting step, closing day, when you sign the papers and hand over the keys. So, what's the bottom line here? Well, when you combine that foundation of trust with the 3 keys, price, preparation, and presentation, and you follow a proven process, you create an advantage that's just undeniable. Let's do a quick final recap of the key things to take away. Okay, here's what you absolutely need to remember. 1. Price it right from the very beginning. That's how you maximize buyer interest. 2. Prepare your home with professional staging to create a vision that buyers can't resist. 3. Present it flawlessly online with incredible photos and video. And finally, follow that proven 10-step roadmap for a smooth ride all the way to the closing table. Look, at the end of the day, your home is so much more than just a place you live. It's one of your most valuable financial assets. Following this playbook is how you make sure it gets treated that way. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to unlock its true potential?